Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you are well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some petty revenge mixed with some relationship stories too. And if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Now, this first story comes from Reddit @MindDumb, who says, "Never thought I'd be so happy to catch my ex-wife cheating." I'm not even sure if this qualifies as revenge. I think it does, but I'll let the public be the judge. First off, this story occurred many years ago. Let me give you a rundown of the laws around divorce where we lived at the time. Both parties need to agree to the divorce unless one party can prove the other party is at fault. This would mean something akin to cheating. There are also other reasons, but cheating falls into this. Now, I honestly shouldn't have married my ex-wife, but I was young, dumb, full of cum, and she was pretty, and I did what I did. So after our first year of marriage, I came to the conclusion I wanted to end our marriage. It wasn't working out for many reasons. However, my ex-wife did not want a divorce. Her life was better being married to me than without me, and I think she was trying to hold on to that. But there was no love. My ex-wife set a price of $100,000 to agree to a divorce. This does happen here, where if one party wants a divorce and the other doesn't, the party that doesn't want the divorce comes up with a cash payment they want and you negotiate from there. Now, I didn't have $100,000. I could get about $25,000 and I was willing to pay that. Also, we had no kids, we didn't own anything together, etc. We spent a long time going back and forth over money and how much I'd pay her to divorce me. She finally agreed. I was thrilled. I was so happy. I decided I would go out and celebrate that night. The stars aligned. Now, to give you an idea of how utterly lucky I am about to get, we lived in a city about the size of Chicago. Many millions of people, lots of places to go. My friend took me to a new bar in a part of the city I had never been before. We celebrated. We had a good time. I walk out the bar around 2:30 a.m. and it was like fucking Christmas. There was my wife. With another man I had a hunch she was cheating on me with, and I was so happy. She was heading for a taxi, and I ran and got into a taxi behind her and told the cab driver to follow them. Much to my enjoyment, the taxi was clearly going to my house. She gets out, I pull out the camera, and I get a few pictures of her kissing this man. Once I get the photos, I immediately email them to my work account to protect them, and I get out the car and I approach the two lovebirds. I introduce myself. I thank the kind gentleman and I make one request. If they want to have sex, don't have sex in my house, but that's all. I then hand her lover my business card and I thank him for all the money he saved me and tell him if he wants to grab a beer, I'd be happy to buy him a few rounds. I then wish the two lovebirds all the best and go upstairs and head to bed. To say my ex-wife was livid was an understatement. However, the next morning she pointed out something and I have no idea how strong her argument could be in a courtroom. But it did concern me. She said since we already agreed to divorce, it wasn't really cheating, and I would still have to pay her. Well, that afternoon I get a phone call. It's my ex-wife's boyfriend. He apologized for sleeping with my ex-wife and I told him no worries. He then said he'd like to talk to me. We agreed to meet up and we do. Turns out he'd previously been cheated on, and apparently my ex-wife lied to him about his relationship status. She said we were waiting for our divorce to be finalized, which was not true, and that she didn't live with me anymore, which was not true. He also asked me if I had sex with her in the last 6 months, and I said I did. Turns out their relationship had begun about 6 months prior, and they were sexually active with each other, and she told him she wasn't having sex with anyone, especially me. Whoops. I asked him if he had any documentation of them dating, and he goes, yeah. He ended up sending me all the pictures he took of them together, some of which included him kissing her, etc. He also sent me numerous screenshots of text messages between her and him, some of which included her clearly lying about her relationship status with me. I put all of this in a folder and backed it up numerous places to include a USB drive which I hid in my office at work in case she found a way to delete the data, which she never did. I then went to my ex-wife and had a sit down with her. I went over the mountain of evidence I had against her. Option A, she agreed to a non-contested divorce. I would give her 30 days to move out, she gets nothing from me and I get nothing from her. Option B, I get a lawyer and I sue the living crap out of her, get a massive judgment against, still get my divorce and saddle her with a ton of debt for the rest of her life. She agreed to the non-contested divorce. That was on a Saturday. That Monday, we went to the courthouse and filed for divorce. This started her 30 days. I shacked up with my buddy so I could be out of her way. We had a court hearing a few weeks later. Judge made it clear we're doing a non-contested divorce. Once he stamps the divorce decree, we have to report this to the city hall and our divorce will be finalized. Us not having kids or property make it quick and easy. We both agreed, we both signed, judge stamped the documents and I eagerly grabbed my divorce decree and rushed to the city hall to report my divorce and wham bam thank you ma'am, I was a free man. I actually ended up becoming friends with a guy that was banging my wife and we still talk today. Although our COVID-19 pandemic, our relationship got distant, and not because of falling out or anything, just not talking to each other. Holy moly. Now I'm going to turn this one straight to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let's move on to another story. Now we're going to head on over to the Am I the Arsehole subreddit, where Ivory Coffee says, am I the arsehole for saying I'd call the police if a family heirloom wasn't returned to my adopted daughter? I'm mobile and I've never posted here before, so sorry in advance. I, 28 female, met my husband, ex, 30 male, 10 years ago. At the time, he was a single dad to a 6-month-old baby girl, Lily, 11 female. I worked at a bakery he'd stop at every Saturday before their walk, and eventually we started going out. We got married 6 years ago, and I legally adopted Lily soon after that. In my family, it's a tradition that the oldest daughter gets gifted an old sapphire ring on her 11th birthday. The ring belonged to my grandmother, who gave it to my aunt, who gave it to me because all of my cousins are male. Lily's 11th birthday was a few months ago, and I gave the ring to her because she's my oldest daughter. She loves that ring more than anything. She put it on a chain to wear around her neck so that she could keep better track of it. And in the month that she's had it, I've never seen her take it off. My sister, Mia, 24 female, is one of Lily's favorite people. Lily really loves her aunt, and sometimes Mia will just text to let me and X know that she's picking Lily up from school to go eat or go to the bookstore or something like that. The other day, I got one of those texts from Mia, so I just told her to be safe, have fun, and make sure my daughter came home at a decent time because it was a school night. Lily got home about an hour after we had dinner, and she barely said hello to her dad or me before she went up to her room. I thought that maybe she was just tired, so he and I didn't immediately ask her what was going on. But later that night, I went to go check on her because I wanted to be sure. When I walked into her room, I saw that she had been crying. I asked her what was wrong, and it took a minute, but she eventually told me that Mia took the ring from her because it's a family heirloom that's supposed to go to the actual oldest daughter. And because I adopted her, that means she isn't really family. The only reason I didn't go to Mia's apartment that night to get it back was because I spent the rest of the evening reassuring Lily that she is my family and she is 100% my actual oldest daughter, no matter what our DNA is or what anyone else says. I left Mia a voicemail the next morning telling her to return the ring before I drive over there and get it myself. She texted me saying she would only give it to me if I had a daughter before she did, but until then, she'd keep it safe to make sure I didn't give it back to the wrong person. So then I told her that if she didn't return the ring by 2 p.m. that day, I would be calling the police and reporting it stolen. She started texting like crazy, saying I was being ridiculous and doing too much. Our mum is in on it now too, and she thinks saying I'd contact the police was taking it too far, and that Mia was only trying to keep the family tradition. And we're going to start straight away with Pink Peonies 23, who says, not the arsehole. She took a birthday gift from your child and then told that child that she wasn't really family. Your sister is lucky that all you did was say that you'd call the cops. Bright Orange Flower says, not the arsehole. Mia is not the fun aunt she appears to be. She manipulated the relationship and has shown her true colors and thoughts about Lily now. What a disgusting person to do this to your daughter. Ignore them all and please phone the police and stand up for your daughter and go no contact with all these people who think it's okay to steal from an 11-year-old and treat her as less than your daughter. Few Sheep Herder says, yeah, heirloom or not, she stole a valuable from your child. Save messages and go to the police to file a report. She herself destroyed your relationship, so feel zero guilt. She will steal more if you let her, and I will be suspicious that she has done it already. Also remember, you're protecting your child. She cannot be trusted with her now. She may do something else to her in the future. Do not accept this. Not the arsehole. And one more from MSP who says, my heart breaks for Lily. To think that your mum and sister are treating her this way is beyond disgusting and reprehensible. You are an awesome mum to Lily, and your sister is a sad person. I say call the police and file a report. Once you get it back, cut all ties with your family. You are far from being the arsehole. I'm sure Reddit will not only be on your side, but create an army to go get that ring back for that sweet baby of yours. Your sister and mum are the true arseholes. And that's all I could think about in that story, thinking about that poor girl sat in her room crying away because what she's been told, basically that she's not family, from someone who OP said that she loved and is one of Lily's favorite people, and she loves her aunt so much, and then to hear this from someone that she loves must have been absolutely devastating. And of course Mia and mum is going to say calling the police is a step too far because they're going to get in fucking trouble for what they've done. They've stolen stuff. Absolutely not the arsehole in this situation. But what do you guys make of this one? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another one. And our next story comes from a throwaway account who says, am I the arsehole threatening to kick out my co-worker/roommate for kissing my best friend? Around February, I, 23, let my co-worker Jaden, 25, and his daughter Leah, 6, move in. We were co-workers and friends for 3 years, and he's always been so funny, smart, and cute. We became really close friends. Unfortunately, work decided they can't afford to keep everyone and have been making cuts, and Jaden was basically forced to quit. I know he was really worried about his rent and everything, and my roommate was leaving, so I offered him to stay with me, and we worked out an agreement. We decided that while he's still looking for a job, he'd deal with all the chores and errands and housework. It's honestly been amazing having him live with me. He's such a great cook, and Leah has actually been really well behaved and sweet. He's helped me out a lot, and I really enjoy being able to spend all this time with him. He's found some part-time work, but nothing that pays enough for him to live alone, so we've mostly kept our agreement, just with me doing more and him helping pay a little. My friends have come over quite a few times and obviously met him. Last weekend I had a bunch of my friends stay over. I thought it went great, but the next day Leah told me that she saw Jaden kiss my best friend. I was really upset, and Jaden and I ended up arguing about it. I told him how betrayed I felt. He tried to say it was fine, that apparently that kiss wasn't intentional, and he didn't say anything because they didn't know what it meant. But it's still wrong. I'm doing so much only for him to do this to me. I got upset and told him that he will have to leave if he just wants to take advantage of my kindness. That I don't want to live with someone who betrays me like that. He was offended and just tried to act like it was no big deal and I was being crazy. He thinks I have no right to say anything about his love life, even though it's my best friend and I'm doing so much for him. Our talk didn't really work, but I did talk to my best friend and she agreed to back off. The last few days have been horrible and he doesn't think he's done anything wrong. I tried to talk again, but he now refuses to, and he's been really cold and told me that he'll move out as soon as he can. I don't think I've done anything wrong. It's his own fault. I want to work this out, but he shouldn't be going around kissing my friends. But the fighting has really upset Leah, and obviously Jaden thinks I'm an arsehole, even if he's being selfish. And you can pretty much tell where the comments are going to go with this one already, so there's an edit which replies to the comments which just says, I'm not jealous. This isn't about that. I'm not in love with him or anything. I'd know if I was. This is just about him betraying me, about him going behind my back. Clearly everyone's the type to just hook up without caring about anyone else. There's way too many people to respond to now. Like I've said, it's not about jealousy. I'm not in love with Jaden. It's just rude and ungrateful to sneak around and do what he did. And I've sat here for the last couple of minutes trying to think of a different take on this, what path OP is going down, where the betrayal is that two adults have kissed. I'm just kind of like, I can get the situation might be a bit weird, but I just still keep coming back. Regardless of what OP says about jealousy, it just feels that way. Jealousy, possessiveness, or some kind of control. And people bringing up a comment that OP mentioned Where someone said, is Jaden aware that you have feelings for him and that you expected them returned because of your selfless acts of kindness? You're the arsehole. And then quotes a section where OP replied saying, I haven't told him, but it's not about that. He doesn't have to like me back, but he can't go around kissing my friends. He and his daughter would have been homeless if I didn't help him. I mean, Leah sees me as a mother figure now. Then the commenter says, OP might not be in love with Jaden, but she absolutely has romantic feelings for him. So now I'm going to ask you, can you see a different path what OP might be going down? Something that I'm just totally glossing over here. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Would love to read them if you have a moment. And let's check out another one. Now this story comes from a throwaway account. It's titled, Am I the Arsehole for refusing to let my daughter be in wedding photos? First, I've never posted before, so forgive me for any bad formatting. I, 30 female, have a daughter, Lily, 5 female. My brother, James, 32 male, and his wife, Brittany, 26 female, got married in July. I was friendly with Brittany, but before they were dating and engaged, but we weren't friends. James and I are very close though. When James first proposed to Brittany and they started wedding planning, it was made very clear to me that Lily and I would be a part of the wedding. Throughout the wedding planning process, it was reiterated that Lily would be a flower girl and I would be maid of honor. A few weeks before the wedding, Brittany came to my house to talk to me. She explained that her family had raised concerns about kids attending the wedding, and Brittany/James have decided to make the ceremony child-free, but Lily was more than welcome to come to the reception. I tell her something along the lines of, okay, it's your wedding. I love my brother, so I'll do whatever he asks of me. Fast forward to the rehearsal. We line up and everything is going as expected until Brittany's 3 nieces, 5 female, 7 female, 8 female, walk in as a junior bridesmaid. I'm confused and slightly annoyed, but whatever. After James pulls me aside and says that Brittany was worried that Lily would accidentally ruin the wedding with a temper tantrum, and that's why they lied about the wedding being child-free. I explained to James that this really pissed me off and it hurt that they think that about my child, but it's fine. I'd already arranged for my friend to watch Lily during the ceremony and then meet me for the reception. James said he understood my feelings and didn't agree with Lily not being invited. The day of the wedding, Brittany asks where Lily is and why she wasn't there while we got ready. I explain that she is with a friend and will be at the reception later. Brittany then says she's going to call so Lily can be brought over for pictures because people will ask why she's missing in pictures and it will make her look bad. I told her she can call, but my friend knows the situation and won't come until I ask her to. Brittany called James to have him make me stop being a petty bitch, but he said he knew the plan and didn't see a problem with it. She then asked what they're supposed to tell people when they look at the photos and ask where Lily is. I said to tell them that she wasn't invited since she has too many temper tantrums. She called me a bitch and said I was taking things too personally. After that, the wedding was awkward to say the least. There was a lot of drama within the wedding party that had nothing to do with this situation. James texts our family group chat with a link to the wedding photos. Now extended family has been reaching out wanting to know why Lily isn't in any pictures, and I have explained the situation. My mum is on my side, but all my aunts and uncles said that I'm a petty arsehole. So, am I the arsehole? ETA 1. Does my daughter have a history of throwing temper tantrums? No. Throwing temper tantrums is out of the norm for her. 2. How was I maid of honor without knowing other kids would be involved in the wedding? I was originally just a bridesmaid, but drama within the wedding party is the reason Brittany promoted me to maid of honor. 3. Just to clarify the timeline a little bit, James and Brittany did a first look/couples photos the week before the wedding. On the wedding day itself, the only picture that were taken were the get ready/bridal party and family photos. So they're calling you a petty arsehole now. I don't think you're a petty arsehole at all. You're doing exactly what was requested of you. She's made herself look bad. She then asks what they're supposed to tell people when they look at the photos, and you were absolutely right. She wasn't invited because apparently she has too many temper tantrums. You're not being petty, you're telling the exact truth of the situation. Hopefully she will get the consequences of her actions. And clearly this just wasn't an isolated issue because there was other stuff going on. You're saying that there's other drama within the wedding party, and I can take an educated guess that it was caused by her. And OP down in the comments below threw another little example of the drama that was going on within the wedding party and said, an example of this wedding party's bullshit. The OG maid of honor cheats on her husband, groomsman with best man. Best man's girlfriend, bridesmaids, caught them because OG maid of honor was texting Brittany for an alibi. A fight started at the wedding shower. Holy moly. And I kind of feel like if I was in that situation and you was there and you've accepted that it was a child-free wedding, sure, people are entitled to that, but then you saw the 3 nieces walk in around the same age range. I mean, one of them was the exact same age as Lily, and then just expecting you to be okay with that. And it sounded like it was based on these tantrums, which was baseless info anyway from what OP said. And I think I'd feel totally put out by that and not want to be a part of the situation at all, because that's so disrespectful. But what do you guys make of this one? What would you have done in that situation? Or do you think OP handled it perfectly well? I'd love an update on this one. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And just a huge thank you for spending your time with me today. Getting involved in the stories, your love, support, and time always means the absolute world. And hopefully, I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love.
Wake up, get up, stretch my legs, eat some breakfast, milk and eggs, brush my teeth up, wash my face, throw my clothes on, start my day. Wake up, I can smell the smoke from the bacon. Let's go, see the sun shining from the windows. Okay, I know that today